But part of the reason I'm here is to ask you to explain these.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, of course, you know I'm an author of medical imaging, and you know that as a medical author, you know I've written actually educational software to teach medical imaging to doctors and to medical students and residents. So of course, one of the things you do is you get releases from patients, and that way you can release images. Now,
so this gunshot, this shotgun wound, I presume this guy's dead.
no.
This guy lived with all those.
Well, people
Right.
survive gunshots all the time.
Well, I know that. So you think this guy lived? Do you think you had permission for this?
Yeah. Why would you? Why do you say that? You'd be surprised somebody can survive a gunshot wound.
This one seems you have comments on here that identifies this as a patient. I mean, this is a broken leg.
Every X-ray would always be of a patient. Would that not be right?
I know.
I mean, what X-ray would not be of a patient?
Could be a student when you're in medical school.
What
about this?
Do
you think there was permission given about this?
Now look, if you don't identify a person, then you don't need their permission. You're aware of that?
No, I need to hear this. So if you have an image from work of something, or if when you're in medical school or whatever, you can just take a picture of that with your iPhone and put that on the internet, and it's okay as long as you don't identify it.
If you don't identify, yeah, look at any medical textbook that's full of this kind of imaging. This wasn't even a patient of mine, but
Right.
not identified X-rays can be shared. That's exactly how that works.
But then the context of these, it seems like it's for humorous purposes. Do you think that's professional?
To educate people about what happens, you know, is that not educational?
Wow, one of my all-time favorites from my residency days, pretty active knife and gun club at Truman Med. What kind of gun blows someone's head off completely? I got to get one of those. What professional medical education piece does that have?
So, you know what, I'll tell you something. I'll tell you the burden that you carry when you're a doctor, and you have people who come to you and put their lives in your hands.
Okay.
And this is something that, maybe most people don't understand the burden of that. It's an honor in a whole host of ways, and it's a burden in a whole host of ways. But this is not about trying to violate anybody's rights or privacy. This is not even a patient of mine. Now, you ask if it's a patient. Well, of course, any X-ray taken would be a patient.
Patient of someone, and you had access to the material. I'm just wondering about HIPAA. They won't even tell you if somebody's in a hospital these days. So you wonder about images like this being put out on the internet. And really, the posts are intended. It's a joke. When you read the post, including your own, this is a joke.
No, it isn't. You know what? It is no joke about taking care of patients. And you may
Sir,
you may
please
not have
address why you posted the image of a guy's head blown apart.
Tim, answer your question.
All right, let's talk about this one. This is a guy, I believe, who was murdered in Kansas City. And I believe this image was posted by you before his funeral. Why would you do this?
Do you believe Tim, or we're not going to get into speculation?
Why would you do this?
What do you know? Are you speculating? What is that?
6 times tonight you said you want to answer every question. And I'm here to ask questions because, we're trying to decide whether to make a news story out of this. We need to understand what the thinking is. I don't know exactly how to handle material like this. For example, I'm not sure the newspaper can publish this because it's so offensive. You see what I mean? So when I see you anchor your campaign on a healthcare, your signs say doctor in front of them, I'm asking you professionally, is this material professional?
This is the kind of material you see in medical education textbooks
This is
all the
Facebook.
time. These are real consequences. You know, there are real consequences to what happens and some of the evil that's out there in our world and some of the tragedies that are out in this world. And it's difficult as a healthcare professional to have to deal with those every single day. And I don't wish that burden on anyone, and I don't take that lightly.
So the dialogue, Melissa Ring Petson, perhaps you know her. Hey, I scanned that patient on Friday. Can you believe Miller, must be someone you guys work with, called us and asked us why we didn't straighten his head. Seriously? And your response was, sheesh, Melissa. It's not like the patient was going to complain. Do you think this is appropriate about somebody who was murdered? Somebody was charged with first-degree murder. The guy's not buried, and you're posting it
You don't
online.
know who that person is.
Do you? Tell me who it is.
I would not reveal a patient. If it was a patient of mine, I wouldn't reveal it.
So you don't think I can figure out who this is?
I don't know what you
Do you think I can go back to the time of this and look at Kansas City area murders, homicides? and
Tim, we're
figure it
not
out?
going to get into the, do you think I can do this, that, or the other
No,
thing?
he's telling me, do I know? I think I can figure out who this is.
Then by all means.
But I'm asking you. It's not what I know. It's what you know about these. Do you think this is professional? Do you still do this?
I take care of patients.
Do you
every
still
day.
post images of dead people on the internet?
That is not an image of a dead person.
What is it? What is this?
These are X-rays.
X-rays of dead people. Do you still post images that reflect anything like this on the internet?
You know, it's so easy to try to put some kind of blame on anybody and anything that you'd like to do. I'm telling you right now, these are real consequences that you see of real activities. And these are things that we have to deal with in the healthcare profession. It's difficult. And yeah, it is an educational thing for people to see some of these consequences. Do you think there'd be so many of this kind of so many tragedies if people saw the consequences of them?
Well, I wonder by the commentary on these if they actually changed anybody's mind educationally, or just people thought it was funny. And
Well,
you're the
no,
conduit.
no,
You're the conduit for
Now
this
you're
information.
asking me to judge what is in somebody's heart or mind because they
I'm
saw
actually
material?
asking you to respond to the remarks that you made about these photos, and even you,
And I have.
believe, are making light of it. It's not an educational thing. I believe you're making light of it. Are you making light of it?
No. And so again, I can't comment what you have in your mind and your heart. I can't comment what anybody else thinks or about anything other than what I've just told you and what I think.
You said you would answer all questions. Are
Tim,
you
we-
still posting images like this on the internet?
I'm not going to play these kind of gotcha games with you.
Tim, we offered you 5 minutes. You asked for 5 minutes. We've given you 12, so we're going to call it a night.
Do you have anything else to say about this?
I say that I take my charge of being a doctor very seriously.
Okay. I appreciate the time.
No problem. That's why we gave you extra.